Port of Seattle Commission President Fred Fellman, and it's really an honor to be able to stand here today with Port Seattle police and fire departments and with first responders across the country to honor and recognize the heroism that they exhibited and for the tragedy of the lives lost at 9/11 20 years ago. In honor of that and to memorialize our ongoing commitment to never forget, we'll be dedicating the stairwell where our fire department continues to train to protect us into the future. And this is really something that, as a New Yorker, having spent my first quarter of my life in New York, it cuts deep and is really an honor for me to be able to be standing here with those who want to continue to recognize this terrible event. And I think it's also maybe on a positive side that here 20 years ago, 20 years since, we're welcoming back our Afghan refugees. We started this war in response to 9/11, and it's great to be able to put it to a close and to be with the folks who really were part of this great solution to our nation's challenges and tragedy. With that, I'm going to turn it over to our Chief Operating Officer, Dave Zwicky.
Thank you, Commission President. Steve Metrick, who is our Executive Director, is on the East Coast today. As a result, I'd like to share his remarks and thoughts. He says that 9/11 made us more resilient today than in the past. We're now better prepared to anticipate threats and risks. And as we stay vigilant in the future, that is the best way to honor the heroes of 9/11. Vigilance going forward is keeping what we learned. And using what we learned means we will remember. We at the port operate cargo and passenger gateways and huge facilities. We need to keep safety and security for everyone at top of mind. And thank you to the police, fire, and employees for being that front line for the Port of Seattle. A couple personal notes. I think we all remember 9/11 differently. My children certainly remember it differently than I. In fact, they probably haven't had the chance to experience the freedom without fear of risk ever present. But yet they are probably more vigilant now, and as a result, they also can carry on. I'm honored to be here today with police and fire, Alan and others in particular, who have used this facility as a training facility, doing hard work and remembrance. I've actually brought passengers from the airport who were lost here to see it, and I brought loved ones too. This is a meaningful memorial. My best to you. I now turn it over to Fire Chief Randy Krause.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Randy Kraus, Fire Chief here at Port of Seattle. I just want to thank all of you and definitely our executives, Mr. Little, for allowing us this opportunity, Mr. Zwicky, Mr. Fellman for speaking today. I'm going to keep mine short. I'm going to introduce Firefighter Alan Martinez. He's really, without him, this would not be possible. So, Alan.
First of all, let me say thank you to coming to the dedication, and a very special thank you to everyone involved with making the stairwell a permanent memorial to the lives lost on September 11th. And this stairwell has evolved from a cold and dingy stairwell to a place that helps us all reflect on the lives lost 20 years ago this Saturday. The staircase at the beginning only had a single clipboard at the top, which we would place a picture and obituary of a hero that we were climbing for that day. I chose 78 stories to pay tribute to the respect and tremendous effort the firefighters demonstrated making it to the 78th floor that day. We slowly started adding photographs to the walls to show the reality of what happened on that horrible day. This stairwell, with all the photos, helps to inspire us while we climb. In full gear, and to honor those true American heroes, because that's what they did. It was their job, and they gave up their lives to do it. After we climb to the top, we all sign and date the obituary and place it in our notebook. This special notebook with all the obituaries has been signed by firefighters from all over the world whom have climbed in various events in these 9/11 memorials. The memorial is dedicated to all that died on 9/11. It includes 343 firefighters, 23 New York City police officers, 37 Port Authority police officers, 8 EMT paramedics, and military personnel from the Pentagon. And not to be forgotten, the crew members of United Flight 175, Flight 93, American Flight 11, and 77. Every single person mentioned above has been honored with an individual climb, and their name and obituary have been on that clipboard at the top of our stairwell and then added to the 9/11 tribute notebook. I hope this stairwell can be a special place to pay tribute and respect to the heroes of 9/11, and a place for us all to reflect the lives lost that day. Never forget.
Hello, I'm Mike V. I'm the acting chief of police for the Port of Seattle. On September 11, 2001, well over 400 first responders made the ultimate sacrifice at the World Trade Center. Less than 1% of the working adult population in the United States is able, willing, and has the heart to be a firefighter or police officer. Let us consider that these first responders, 20 years ago, first answered the call of the profession with a heart and a will to serve. Then came that call on that terrible day. They did not waver, and they responded to it. First responders go to work every day prepared for high-risk and life-threatening events. And many of us are willing to sacrifice our time and our money to help others. But it's the extraordinary ones, such as these, who are among us, who are willing to make that ultimate sacrifice. Both they and their family know the potential cost, and they're willing to suffer the bereavement if that day comes. In this case, tragically, it came. Some of you here today in the audience, you're part of that 1%. You entered into the profession knowing the risk. You come to work day after day. You don your gear. You go out into our communities, both the Port of Seattle community and our individual communities, and you're willing to risk your safety and your lives for the safety of others. And words cannot express the gratitude and the admiration that I and many others, I think most of those who are here today, have for our first responders who are willing to risk so much on our behalf. And so I say thank you. And please also, first responders particularly, I speak to you today, when you go home and you see your families, please thank them for us.
Nice work.